Hey there, YouTube. This is the Heir of Carthage coming to you from the Bay of Many Faces. So scenic. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go check out my army. This was kind of an interesting fight, actually. I had a couple of these kind of interesting fights, and you may have seen, if you watched my battle against Admiral Price or Frood 100, you might have noticed that I've been tinkering around with cavalry horde armies. And I mean, they made katana cavalry so much cheaper now that I just have a good time enjoying gigantic hordes of katana cavalry. It's not the best versus other cav, but it's pretty devastating versus infantry, and it's also got pretty good morale and attack stats. Here's some ninja of mine creeping across the field. You guys might remember these from my my battle against the monks a long time ago. I've got 2 units of the Kisho ninja, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to use those yet. Although, I think you'll enjoy the footage that I'm going to give you. Now, my opponent actually seemed like a viewer, and it is Evil Horde of Timur is his name. So, yeah, here's his army. He's got a pretty good army. The only thing that, well, I mean, I do it too, so I guess I completely understand, especially since I have lone swords here. He's using, like, mostly lone sword Ashigaru as his sword troops. But if you have the right retainers, then that's totally a feasible option. Like I said, I do it quite a lot, so... just because someone has lone sword Ashigaru, don't underestimate those guys, because in the right circumstances they can cause massive damage. And then backing them up, he's got several units of Naginata warrior monks, some Yari samurai, and some Naginata samurai, more warrior monks. I'm trying to get his entire cav component. Let's see, he's got a light cav, a great guard, and his gen. Then here in the back he's got 3 bow samurai unit, 2 of which have some chevrons. Let's see, where's the rest of his cav? Let's see, he's got Great Guard, Yari, Avatar, Great Guard, Light Cav. So he's got 2 Great Guard, a Yari, and a Light Cav. Yeah, so that's pretty much his army. He's got, it looks like, 5 sword units and 5 spear or Naginata units. Pretty well balanced army. Pretty smart decision. Now, here hiding in these woods, I've been trying to move them out of his visible range. These guys do become visible to him soon. I'm not really sure how soon they become visible, but they do become visible eventually. I have 3 katana cav hidden in these woods, and I'm hoping for some type of ambush. I gave my opponent the high ground on purpose, and I was hoping that he would capture that building up there and feel more confident to come down attacking me, and that way I could try and spring some type of ambush. I have 3 more katana cav out here on the field. They were hidden to start with, but there was no sense in continuing that. I've got 3 lone sword units. I got the sword fodder, the cheap choppy, and sword patchies. As far as my veteran units, I have Patchy's rifles, and Patchy's got a gun. Those guys are just fodder. I've just got them here for the heck of it. There's my 2 Kisho ninja units. And then I have, I believe it's, yeah, 4 Nodachi samurai. I like using these guys. If you use them right, they're quite deadly. If you do not use them right, then they're quite worthless. Here they are. I actually have a new unit of Nodachi samurai. I'm not sure if I brought them. Oh yeah, here they are. The Nopachi samurai. I thought that was appropriate. Yeah, and then here's old Patchter. You can see that they fixed some of the bugs in the game, but you can now see that his wings are now floating above his head. So what fixed one glitch, I guess, has created another. So that one's pretty interesting, but I kind of like it. You know, the like mystical power of the wings floating over Patchy's head. It really has an aura of invincibility about him. I think I'll leave it that way. So here my fodder units are doing what they do best, which is burning to death with flaming arrows. I can't help laughing at my own men. That's hilarious. Oh man, I'm pretty evil. So yeah, that's funny. I'm just letting my rifles get shot. They really don't have terrain on which they can fire. And then he charges in his light cav here to finish them off, and I was actually typing right now on my keyboard. I was typing LOL because I didn't realize my ninjas were on fire at will. And so here it comes. Oh man, I just blew up like all my own fodder units. It wasted my bombs. My ninja became unhidden, and so yeah, I was just typing on the keyboard LOL because I mean that was such a big fail. Oh, anyway, I couldn't help but laugh at that. It's just hilarious. So I took my ninjas off of fire at will, and at this point I'm trying to stop laughing at myself. Some of you, I think, really think that I'm some kind of great player, and sometimes I play good, but sometimes I just have a great time playing like a really reckless battle like I'm doing right here. I love just picking a reckless army and just going at it. And my opponent's coming off the high ground here, and it's got his men in kind of an odd position. And I'm going to use that as an opportunity to try and outflank him. So to hold his men in place and to cause chaos, I'm going to charge in these 3 Katana Cav units, which became visible just a moment ago. He's got some Naginata monks and a couple of Great Guard units and some bow warriors. He's charging in even more. But these Katana Cav have decent morale. They'll last for a while. Yeah, they'll last for a while. Now, my Dachi are going to charge in. I want you to catch this charge because these guys have a brutal charge bonus. So check that out. Charging into those Katana Samurai. And I did get my Nodachi into Banzai, and I got the full charge on them, so they're going to do very well in this fight. Very, very well. And see, check out my Katana Cav. They're dying, but they're dying slowly, which is exactly what I need. And then here's my my Lone Sword Ashigaru charging his Lone Swords. His have much better position, but I'm using an outflanking maneuver with my remaining Katana Cavalry. This is why I like breeding a horde of cavalry, because even if your opponent brings better Cav, they may not be able to pin down all of your Cav. So here, I'll take this Yari Cav in a fight. Their charge is going to beat up a lot of my men, but eventually my Katana Cav will turn around and win that because they have a better attack. You can see that his sword units aren't quite as good as mine, so they're routing. But up here, you can see this huge blob of his men fighting my my Katana Cav, and so my ninjas didn't use all their ammo, and I saw a great little target of opportunity here since his men were all blobbed up, and this is the perfect place for ninja grenades. So there you go. Look at the absolute carnage. I mean, that was brutal. Look how many men are dropped all over the ground now. And of course that made his monks mad, so they're going to charge down off that hill and get into a fight with me, but I just caused some massive, massive damage to my opponent's troops there. You can just check out the numbers there. And then I've still got more sword units up here. My Kisho Ninja are going to come into the fight now as well. And I'm using my sword retainers. So all of my sword units, especially my Kisho Ninja, have huge sword attack. So they're going to be very tough. And then you can see that I'm now wrapping up my opponent's flank. My extra Katana Cavalry was able to do the job. You can see his Yari Cav out there was routed. And now my opponent is just caught in a vice. And I'm just going to keep wrapping up on him. So my opponent had a good army. He had pretty good position. And really, especially with my nice fail with those Kisho Ninja, I was pretty lucky to end up pulling off this good position. But again, that's where the cavalry horde becomes useful. Your opponent gets so worried about how many Cav units you have that they don't always do a great job of stopping some of those Cav units. And so you can use that to your advantage. I'll just let you watch the finishing of this fight. It's actually pretty epic. I'll zoom in a little there. If I say that. I guess I'm getting bad frame rates in there. There we go. So yeah, nice carnage. You can see my Nodachi Samurai did quite well and cut their way out of this fight. And I've won the battle at this point, and just look at the carnage. Here's Patchy in a stand-and fight. Patchy and his floating wings. It's too bad that his stool doesn't float in the air with him on it. That would just really be neat if he could levitate himself. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that battle. Good game to my opponent. I just couldn't help but laugh at the ninja fails and some of the other things that went wrong in that, but I thought that battle was fun. So I hope you enjoyed it. Alright YouTube, I'm back with another battle. I wanted to show you this one as well because I actually won this battle with numbers, and I know I showed you that in one of my classic battles, but a lot of people ask me how to win avatar battles with numbers because they get sick of going up against these really veteran armies and high-ranking generals, and they're wondering how you can win. Well, typically, if you're of a lower rank, of course, the funds are going to work to your favor, and that's what you want to use to your favor. So if you're playing a small or medium funds battle, you should definitely be able to win with numbers if you can control your troops right. And you just want to use like overwhelming tactics where you try and overwhelm your opponent or get them out of position. So let me explain what I'm doing in this fight. Again, I brought a cavalry horde of 6 Katana Cav. None of these have any upgrades. I'm kind of hoping that I'll get an upgraded Katana Cav unit, but right now I don't have any. And I'm going to rush this ridge. And up here on this ridge, I've already got 2 of my Kisho Ninja units camping out, waiting to hurl their bombs in. Oh, you gotta love these Kisho Ninja. These are some interesting guys. And then my army is consistent of like huge numbers of sword troops. And again, I'm using sword retainers. So you do want to use your retainers to create some type of strength in your army. And then you want to play to that strength. So right here, my strength is a massive mobile striking force of Katana Cav. And this is going to keep my opponent very defensive and keep him guessing. And that's what I want to use to my advantage. And I'm going to use that chaos as an opportunity to get all of my infantry into a fight with him, while taking minimal casualties. You'll notice that I have no missile units on the field, bar the ninjas, which carry the hand grenade things, which I wouldn't really count that as a missile unit per se. See, I'm going to move them back just behind the crest of this hill because I saw that my opponent had matchlock troops. And yeah, I figured that these guys would want to be taking shots at me. And this is all that he has visible at the moment. I knew that he had more troops. The thing is he can't really hide them here to begin with because that's just outside his deployment zone. So you can be guaranteed that he either has more troops here, here, or maybe right over here. And the reason I say he has more troops is because he has no cav present, and he just doesn't have enough infantry here to make up for the fact that he doesn't have any cav present. You can see he's a level 7 general, so he's going to have some pretty nice veteran units. Let's take a look at some of them, actually. He's got a katana samurai here, another katana samurai, yeah, so he's got 3 very well upgraded katana samurai right there, and then a naginata samurai here in the woods with a chevron, and then he's got his 2 matchlock units there in the woods. And he's got a 3rd matchlock unit out here in the open. And he's got 2 units of these bow warrior monks. And these guys have quite a few chevrons. And he's also increased their spotting range. So see, he could see my ninjas from a distance. Just like this guy is now sad that he could be seen from a distance as he's rolling around on the side of this hill. Along with his buddies over here. Yeah, so those bow warrior monks opened fire on my ninja. And so I had to pull them back. I wanted to save them. I don't really want to use them as fodder units as their numbers aren't very great to begin with. So this is the part where I'm going to put my my giant Mongol-type horde into action. I've got these guys on loose formation, and this is just going to present a huge, daunting menace to my opponent's army. And you're going to see that all he has in this vicinity, by the way of spears or anti-cav units, is some naginata samurai in these forests. Now these katana samurai are tough, and they would be pretty good against Yari cav after the charge was over, but they will be less effective against my katana cav after the charge is over, because my katana cav have huge attack, just like his guys here, and plus these guys have no bonus versus cav. Now he does use his matchlock, very smart, takes a lot of shots, but the terrain wasn't exactly in his favor there, so he doesn't really get a ton of shots. And so now I'm into melee combat with his sword units, and my katana cavalry are made for this kind of fight, and they'll do just fine against sword units. And here his general gets caught in this melee with along with his matchlock units. So this is not the place my opponent wants to be. And you can see that his sword units are absolutely getting shredded by my katana. He does have this unit of naginata out here, but I'm going to meet them with some nodachi. Let's again watch the nodachi charge. I love the nodachi charge. It's pretty sweet. So here comes my guys on banzai. So there they go. They're going to slam into these naginata samurai and then start the work of death here. So you can see that the enemy is going to be really overwhelmed. So I knew my opponent had more troops, but what you're going to see with my tactic here was I quickly mob and overwhelm. Oh, here's some ninja bombs. I think most of them actually hit my own men, but it does go ahead and demoralize his men into routing, so that was totally worth it to me because my whole strategy here relies on a quick knockout, and those naginata troops could have held in a lot longer than I wanted. So there we go. My opponent's troops have routed. I'm still bombing my own men. Yeah, my ninja really enjoy those bombs. I love these guys. You can just see the morale breaking factor they had there. They didn't even get into a sword fight. And again, my opponent's general got caught back here, and I think he forgot about him. So here's his general right here with that crazy cool helmet and the little feather thing above his head. Yeah, so my opponent's troops were hidden over here, just like I said, and they were too far away to support his lines. So here comes some naginata warrior monks, but these guys were too late to join the fight against my cavalry. Here I've just got a couple of lone sword units that were in the forest messing with his great guard. Of course they were going to get the worst end of that. Here's another unit of great guard. I'm going to go ahead and try and trap them in because he got them a little bit isolated. And I'm going to go ahead and cause as much damage to them as I can. You can see I get a good number of kills on him. At this point I'm going to consolidate my forces for another insane banzai charge. I just want to make sure my men are rested because all that rushing around they can get quite tired. Yeah, so here's my opponent's great guard. He's going to finish off this lone sword unit. That's a pretty good idea there. It just means one less unit I can throw at him later. So you can see what happened here is that I totally caught my opponent off guard. he had a strategy where he was going to hide and hope to bring his men out on my flank, but what he wasn't counting on was probably the fact that I would bring this, this huge mobile army. And most of the time people think, oh, no one's going to charge their cav right into the front of my men. Well, Heir will. So yeah, you can see what my cavalry mob did to this guy. It absolutely screwed him up, and even after all that fighting, check it out. I've got 2 katana units left. They're guarding Patchy right now. And here's the floating wings Patchy with this magical aura. I may try and change that, but I don't know. Like I said, the magical wings are pretty cool. I mean, what could you ask for more in a video like this? I mean, you got floating wings and ninja bombs, ninja bomb fails. I mean, you really just can't go wrong. Yeah, so I mean, just check out the carnage left over from that fight. It's pretty sweet. And like I said, I'm totally using a numbers army. I've got I've got a few veteran units, just a couple of lone swords, and maybe an Odachi samurai or 2. That's really my only veterans. Nothing else here is veteran. So and the ones I brought, the only ones that are even really veteran are these lone swords, and those guys are pretty tough. But the rest of my army is pretty weak, and it's not worth a whole lot. So, like I said, numbers and chaos are going to be on your side whenever chaos is going to support you when you have numbers. I guess I'm saying that all wrong. When you have numbers, make sure chaos is on your side. How about that? Does that work? I keep describing this stuff wrong. Here I'm just going to throw these Yari-Ashigaru up here. They are proud to die for Patchy. In fact, because they are Patchies themselves, they very much enjoy the honor of taking arrows to the throat, groin, legs, face, wherever. It's pretty much their pleasure to take arrows. As you can see, like this guy right here, he very much enjoys it. I think that guy really did take one to the groin back there. Oh. Yeah, he just took a groin arrow. Wow. I thought my bow unit was arrow to the groin. This guy's brutal. So he's going to use his missile troops, but he just doesn't have enough missiles to cause enough damage to my men. And the only dangerous part here is my Odachi samurai do not have the bonsai ability to recharge. But if I sit back there and let them recharge any longer, they're going to take a lot more fire. So because of Patchy's fatigue resistance aura, these guys are already rested again. And again, I'm going to let you watch the Nodachi charge into his Naginata monks here. So yeah, it's a pretty brutal charge. And then I've got my cheap Choppy. These guys are actually probably tougher than my my Nodachi. And he charged his Great Guard right into my sword units here. I guess it's not a bad idea, but I probably would have tried for some hammer and anvil or chase my general down. Out here is Great Guard unit. He charged him into 3 of my sword units, maybe thinking he could break them. But that's definitely not going to happen. And look, here comes Patchy just to inspire his men, and then he's going to run off before... He's trying to peel his Great Guard off to attack my general. But I just came in there to inspire my men and keep him in the fight because the monk's war cry ability was scaring them. But look how quickly my men chopped up those warrior monks. My sword bonuses due to those retainers are very, very good. And here's some more monks. You saw in one of my other videos the flaming monks, and I think someone made a comment about monk kebabs and all the different monk burgers. So I guess my troops are hungry for monk again, and I definitely think we could make some more monk kebabs with these Nodachi swords. But I'm not sure how else to prepare monk. Maybe we can have like monk sushi or something. Yeah, so anyway, there goes my army chasing these guys off. Hope you've enjoyed these battles. Like I said, I love these reckless battles. I think I've got the results screen from that one. I didn't have the results screen for the first one, so I'll put it in there. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm also uploading another Tokugawa campaign right now. So if you're thinking, Heir, how come you upload another online battle, not the Tokugawa? Don't worry, it's coming right behind this, I promise. So enjoy it. Stay tuned for more videos. There'll be more Tokugawa campaign tomorrow. Probably another online battle tomorrow. I'm trying to balance it out. And I just hope you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying being back and making videos for you.